It's episode 12 and time to delve on DVC on the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. Hi, everybody. This is your host, Curtis Stone, and we're here to geek on Walt Disney World and DVC today. And I'm here with my guest host, the sweetest daughter in the world and the smartest daughter in the world, Lindsay.
Welcome back, geeks.
Hey, Lindsay. How you doing tonight?
Fantastic.
It's been so long since we did an episode.
Oh, yeah. It's been ages.
24 hours?
Yeah. Less than 24 hours.
But guess what? We're doing one of our favorite things that we like to do.
Yes.
Which is?
DVC.
And have a guest on.
Yes. Very, very excited.
I'm excited to have a guest on, and we have Glen Kessler. How you doing,
Hello.
Glen?
How you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
I'm so glad you contacted us through the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Well, I am thrilled that you asked me to be on the podcast. I can't tell you how excited I am. I've been following you guys since the beginning. What was that? 2 or 3 weeks ago. And,
yeah, pretty much.
Almost 2 months.
and I just love the podcast. I think that the two of you are perfect together. You have a great energy, great positivity, and a lot of wonderful information. So I'm just thrilled to kind of be a part of the whole experiment. So thank you.
Thank you, Glen. And I hope we can be of help for you today. We've said that we are DVC members, and you've picked up on that, and you are looking into the Disney Vacation Club. So so tell us a little bit about yourself, Glen, and your family and what you do and what your interest in Disney World is.
Sure. Well, I'm a big Disney fan. Obviously, I'm on the podcast, so I'm interested. I don't get there as much as I'd like. And in fact, the last time that my wife and I were there was 5 years ago, and we've since had kids. We have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old now, and we're thinking of planning vacations. And can't think of a better place to kind of take them to Disney World. I know the fun that I had when I came as a kid, probably half a dozen times, till I was 18 or so, and the memories are just wonderful, and the connection that you have to that place is just special. I mean, they do a superior job at everything that they do, and I think it's exciting to be in that environment, and for my kids to see that as well as the fun that we'll have. So yeah, we were looking to just have a trip coming up soon, and I started thinking about it a little more. I was like, well, we might go kind of regularly, and then a friend of ours came to visit for the week, and I'll give a shout out to Katie, Marchesalt, and Scott, and they are DVC owners. They have Saratoga Springs, and their parents have Boardwalk, and so we were thinking, maybe about that. And she gave me a little bit of information on it, and I was only kind of half listening at the time because I'd heard my father's warnings about timeshares and all that business kind of going through my head. Yeah. So I don't know. I just started looking into it a little bit more, and the more I looked, the more I liked, and it wasn't like a timeshare. It didn't feel like that, and I started crunching numbers, and it started to look even better once we started to do that. So now we're in the tough decision period. That
thinking about that's fine. Yeah.
Sounds like you guys.
And so when was the last time you were down there?
It was 2009.
Oh, so a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you stay?
We did a split stay. We had my wife and I stayed Swan a couple of nights, lived the high life, and then figured we wouldn't be really spending much time in the room. So then we downgraded. I don't know what you call it. We went to the what do they call it, the All-Star.
Yep.
One of the All-Stars. I can't even remember.
Sure.
The one that's across from Art of Animation now.
Okay, so you did like a week.
Pop Century.
Yep.
So you've had a taste of the Epcot resort area, which is very nice, which we can definitely talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our history with, if someone didn't listen, maybe we mentioned this maybe in our first or second a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I started going to Disney World through my technical conference, Lotusphere, which was at the Swan and Dolphin. So I've stayed, actually my company sent us for a trip and we stayed at the Swan.
Yeah.
So we stayed there.
We love this. I love the Swan. At least.
That was, I think you surprised me by saying that was like one of your favorite
resorts I've ever stayed at.
And I will tell you, or tell anybody, location to me, wherever you're staying is priority.
So important
for us. But I took the family for the first time to the downtown Disney hotels when we first went, when we were newbies. And then we've upgraded a little bit every time to now being DVC owners. So we went through that. Yeah, I think, it's one of the things you'll hear, and I think this is true about DVC for it to make sense, is first of all, you want to be the type of person that wants a vacation in Disney World every year or every other year. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to pretty much say, yeah, that would be a great place to go every year.
Yeah.
And for us, that was an easy answer.
Because we were talking about it year round pretty much. So.
Well, I'll say this. My wife and I think our experience with Disney company or Walt Disney itself is kind of the same, where we had friends when we were kids who went to Disney World, and they were, they would say to us, hey, we're going to Disney World, and we never were able to go. I'm going to put this on pause for a minute. So, Mom and I really have some of the same experiences with Disney World, and that we had friends that would go and say, hey, we went to Disney World, but, Mom's parents are from Germany and Latvia, and she's first generation, and they really didn't get to go to Disney World. And I kind of had a similar background. So
no matter how much you begged, they just never got the chance to go.
So when we actually were fortunate to go, we were pretty much blown away. And mom loved Disney straight away. And she's the type of person that when she finds something she likes, that's it. The other place we vacation actually have over the years is Wildwood, New Jersey, and we go back there. We went last year, but we were going to Disney a little bit more in the last 5 years or so. But I just knew that question was not going to be a problem for us. I knew we would always want to go back. And they do have so many other options where you can do Myrtle Beach, mm-hmm. and you can do, it's Hilton Head, and there's Vero Beach on the Florida coast.
Yep.
And how can you beat going to Florida in the middle of the winter anyway? Yeah. So I don't think we'll ever get sick of it now that you've opened up the one in Hawaii.
Yeah. And they've got all the little places you can go all over the world.
So I think that's one of the questions you want to answer for yourself. Do you think that's a place you want to go every year, or at least every other year, or something like that?
Sure.
And then the other thing is, do you like to stay at some of the deluxe resorts?
I think that's what's so important. Is you need to value where you're going to stay, because otherwise, what's the point of paying so much more, like for the points and everything every year, plus all the fees?
If you financially analyze it and you look at, there's some great posts out on, and I can give you some of those links in the show notes where people have really analyzed it, and it does come out at the end. I think they say if you go like 5 to 7 times, if you compare apples to apples, mm-hmm. Financially it'll be a pretty good deal. But I don't think that's where you get I think it's really about, for us, it's about knowing we're going and talking about it all the time, and milking it like crazy.
Yeah.
Like starting a podcast about it.
Right.
So is there any other questions to get started for us? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to drive my poor wife crazy. I'm the crazy one in our house, and my little AJ is not as old as Lindsay yet, so I can't yet communicate with him about his enthusiasm. Yeah. So I'm thinking, probably for us every 2 years or even every 3 years. I understand you can use the points from the previous year and maybe even steal from the year upcoming. So you can
absolutely
use 3 total years at once. And that would be something that we might, be thinking about, both in terms of the frequency, but also when you make that initial DVC purchase, you have to choose how many points you want. And that point total might, we might only choose a third of what we would actually end up using so that we could go every third year or twice as much so that we could go every 2 years or staggering it like that.
Or once you get hooked, you start adding on.
Right. Have you done that? Have you added on?
We are we'll talk about that as we go through your questions. And
Okay.
we're seriously thinking about the Polynesian. I mean, like you are seriously thinking about your first purchase. We're like seriously thinking about
we were waiting for the announcement to come out.
And we can talk about that because I think it's part of some of your questions here.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you want to dive right in?
Sure. I had a bunch of questions I wanted to ask the experts. So my first
we'll see if we're experts.
More expert than me.
There you go.
Right now. So, my first question was that the DVC rooms have like one kind of unique feature above the normal rooms, and that's a kitchen and and the ability to keep food, make food, clean food, and then also laundry facilities cleaning. And I understand the maid service doesn't come every day; it's maybe every fourth day or some version of that. So my first question is: on vacation, on a Disney vacation, do you mind cooking and do you mind cleaning?
Well, the cooking one's an easy one because we don't.
Yeah, we
don't cook.
We've never taken advantage of actually cooking a meal in our room because we like to eat out. So, so as far as that one, no, we don't. We don't use the kitchen to cook, but
the big refrigerator is nice.
Yes, but we do store food and we use the plates and all the dishes in the room. So we do clean. Well, you don't clean. My mom and I do the cleaning, and we do the dishes and the laundry while we're there because we usually stay for about 9 days. So there's laundry that we do, and
the laundry. You mentioned the laundry, and that my wife. You don't have to worry about bringing as much as far as really clothes because you can. You just throw a load in, and
and they provide laundry soap and everything in the resorts that do have a laundry facility, which is nice. But we clean the bathrooms, we make the beds.
That's a good question. I don't know how many people actually do a lot of the cooking when they.
That is a good question. I'm not sure how many because they advertise it a lot. That like, you're going to be cooking a lot, and I don't think a lot of people do.
We're not.
But as far as how I feel about cleaning and picking up everything in the room, I don't think it's a problem at all. Really, because I think the rooms are so nice and tidy, and to keep them tidy is not difficult when they're so nice and tidy for when you get there. So if you're going to be there for a week, you can't make it that bad, honestly.
Right.
And
we've been fortunate enough to do the 2-bedroom with like 8 or 9 people each time, and it's not been a problem.
No, and with even 9 people, cleaning up was no problem. It's just. Quick with the dishes, and I didn't find any.
So that was an easy one, Glenn. We don't
it
cook.
Didn't take the magic away. So no.
You know what we're going to do this time though? My wife is going to ship to the resort. She was just saying 3 cases of water, I think.
Yes.
So we'll use that big refrigerator. So we might have breakfast stuff, that kind of thing.
We
bagels.
Always have breakfast things.
I'll make my own coffee. Like I just bought coffee today, and we'll probably bring it down.
The Contemporary for the Bay Lake, because we can use that shop in the Contemporary. They have like a little grocery store.
Yep.
And we'll buy like sodas and chips and stuff. So
That's excellent.
Yep. All right.
And that was kind of part of our plan as well, to ship a bunch of items that we would use kind of regularly there, and maybe also cooking breakfast. We found when we were there before that breakfast was just kind of a not as exciting a meal as the lunch and the dinner options.
I agree. I totally agree with you. That's a great idea.
And maybe even scaling down on a dining plan to save a little more money there, and put that.
Yeah, I'll say this: we've analyzed the dining plan, and for DVC owners, it really doesn't make sense. You'll hear that from everybody. I think that's a pretty big consensus. If you like to do analysis, you'll figure out the dining plan has gone up quite a bit in price.
Yeah,
and it doesn't cover alcohol.
No,
and it doesn't cover the tip either. And so you're still going to have to pay for that, and then. But they do have the Tables in Wonderland card, which now it used to cost $75. It costs $100 now. Yeah. And that gives you, I think you have to be an annual pass holder or a DVC owner.
I think it's just DVC or annual pass.
Yeah, something like that.
You're right. No, you're right.
But you can get that Tables in Wonderland card and get 20% off your table meals. And that seems to work out.
It pays for itself
better.
and then a little bit more, which is.
But that is one of the things I've actually posted out there. It would be nice, you see these big dining plan incentives that they do to get you in the rooms for Disney World for the other guests. And as a DVC owner, I feel a little, hey, I only paid, my thing only entitles me to the room. But the nice perk they do throw, though, is the annual pass we get $100, $150 off that.
We got a really good price for our annual passes with our DVC discount.
So that's the other thing is if you go within the same year, you can get a little bit of savings there too, and use the Tables in Wonderland card as a year also.
Mm-hmm. So great tips.
Little off track there, but go ahead.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Switching gears a little bit, my next question is about which resort to choose as the home resort, the resort you can book 11 months in advance instead of 7. So and this is kind of what drew me to your podcast initially, we're looking between the Beach Club and Bay Lake Tower and was just curious how you made your decision to choose Bay Lake Tower.
I love this question.
I went into that. Yep.
It's a great question. So, and it is.
This is a really tough question. That's why it's so good.
Yeah. And we really, had a hard time answering this question for ourselves when we were deciding. It was tough. The other thing, right up front, I'll say that it is important. Your home resort is important and you mentioned the 11-month window. And I learned that really firsthand for this trip that we're going on in June, where we booked it in September, which was about, I think, 9 months out. And the thing with the DVC resorts, if you look at the points system, at Bay Lake Tower, for instance, they have 3 levels. They have a standard, Lake View, and Magic Kingdom View. And the points are less for the standard. Then there's the medium is the lake, and then Magic Kingdom View. Mm-hmm. And most people, and I think this is true of most of the resorts, people don't care about those special views, if you will. Mm-hmm. They care more about the less points and like, for instance, the standard view. So at Bay Lake Tower, the standard view is like the lower level rooms.
It's the ones that you can see out into the parking lot straight from the first, second, third floor.
Because we did a 1-bedroom one in last March, and we did the standard. And so when we looked, so you can actually, you can almost stay an extra day if you stayed in the standard view. So
that's how much less it is.
A lot of people would rather stay in the standard view and get more bang for your buck out of the points. And when we booked at 9 months, the standard views were gone.
Yeah, and that was actually we did that in September, and then we booked again for our next trip, I think in December, and it was 10 months out. It had to be.
Yeah, and you still didn't get standard.
And all the standards were gone already, so 1 month out, and all the standards
so right at 11 months. And so, again, if you're trying to get Christmas time or some of the busier times, you're going to need that 11-month window.
Wow.
To get what you want. So that's why the home resort is important, and most people will tell you that that's the reason. Buy where you want to stay.
But then there's the decision of deciding where you want to stay.
So you're right. So you did see that we had that same question in common, and because my wife and I have stayed, I've stayed 3 times at the Beach Club and once at the Yacht Club. The first time we stayed at the Beach Club, I was just, I loved that place right from the day. I mean, because we basically could walk down the stairs and out that little back entrance of the Beach Club, and you're like, you can almost see the back International Gateway entrance of Epcot.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that was like heaven. I mean,
well, because our favorite parks are Epcot. So it's so that
location, and I love the boardwalk area.
Yeah.
I love the beach theme. That's like the Cape May, New Jersey shore kind of motif and all that. Of course, the pool. They have the best pool in property. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of pluses to the Beach Club. Beaches and Cream is right there. Yeah, one of our favorites.
All that food is so close. All the really good food places. Yeah, the Flying Fish is right around the corner.
Right.
You're talking about the drink station is in like the little convenience store at the Beach Club. They have, at least they did. I think they still do the what's that ice cream that Mom was sorbet.
Oh, yeah.
They had like a little sorbet bar there that she loved. Every day she would get some of that. So, yeah, Glenn, there is just so much to love about the Beach Club, right? But as far as DVC was concerned, at the time we bought, which is 4 years ago, Bay Lake Tower was kind of the midpoint of their sales. Mm-hmm. And what happened with us was my wife and I, we looked at DVC for 10 years and just, I think the big thing that kept me back was a cost analysis, and the maintenance fee was, is somewhere between $8,000 and $1,000 a year. I'm like, for that money, I can almost get a whole room if I went real cheapo, right? Mm-hmm. Offsite or something. So it always kept me away from it. But one day I come home from work close to Thanksgiving, and my wife said, we're just doing this. That's it. We are going to do this. And what was funny was that, there was she saw on the Disney boards, which is a board, great discussion board. So if you haven't frequented, I would do that. There's a lot of DVC discussion there. And, this was the only place that we saw this posted was a Black Friday sale for the Bay Lake Tower. And so now we had to make this decision. What are we going to do? Resale a beach club or the Bay Lake Tower? And the more we thought about it, we wanted to do direct from DVC. So if you think about the Bay Lake Tower, you've got, again, location, which is important to me.
It's on that resort loop. Plus it's got the walkway right to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. And it's only a monorail ride to Epcot.
Yes.
So you're close. So you got 2 resorts that you don't have to take a bus
2 parks.
2.
Yeah, which is so nice because we don't like the buses.
And really now,
But then again, so does the beach club though, because you can walk to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, you could.
It's a little farther, but
a lot of times what we'll do is we'll take the bus in the morning to Hollywood Studios, take the boat
to Epcot,
and then take the monorail home. A day like that, so you even miss that. So it's the location,
transportation and location,
fantastic. I love the resort loop. I love hitting the Polynesian for dinner or drink, Grand Floridian. That whole area is just fabulous too. Yeah. And it was brand new, so the Bay Lake Tower was brand new. The other thing was it had the lowest maintenance fees.
Yeah, because all there is at the Bay Lake is that pool. And
you think about it, the Bay Lake Tower is just a hotel compared to some of those other big sprawling resorts. They have a lot more to maintain, I think. And I think so the Bay Lake Tower will always be a lower maintenance fee, which
it's
can
still
work
a beautiful hotel though too. It's so clean. And
my wife really loved the contemporary. One thing that's, I read a lot of the discussions on the boards, and there's this camp that likes the quiet, like your Saratoga Springs or Old Key West, away from things, or even Animal Kingdom is away from things, right? It's quiet and like that. And then there's the other ones like us that think location is like the number one thing.
And I think I'm part of your crew. I think I'm part of your crew.
Yeah, I think there's 2 camps that I read about. And so if you're in that camp where you like the location.
It's got the energy to it.
Plus your kids are little. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's the big advantage you have over us is that, boy, I hope you make it the decision and you love it because you're going to have so much more longer to enjoy it with your little kids.
Yeah.
Our kids are all grown up, and it was more of like, we'll enjoy it, and then we're going to be able to pass this on to them, but maybe enjoy our grandkids or something with it.
Right. Well, that's the other thing to consider. The term is like, I think Bay Lake Tower still has 44 years left or something like that. So
it'll probably outlive me. Not to be morbid or anything, but the other thing was we did want to buy directly from Disney. We ended up getting a really good deal at like $97 a point when we did that. If you figured in all the incentives we did, which is great because then the price started like skyrocketing right after that. And we did, because we did actually use the financing from Disney a little bit, which was really easy. So when you buy from Disney, the transaction is so simple. It's almost, whereas if you do a resale, you'll read, it's 3 months, and then Disney might do a right of refusal and all this stuff. So we just did it that way. And with that way, we actually bought more points than we probably would have bought. We did like 250 points. We did 250 points.
Yeah, we have 2 contracts.
So that was a long answer.
Yeah, wow.
That was a fun
That's
one.
an important one, though.
But we struggled with that. That definitely was a tough one.
It depends on what you prefer, Epcot or Magic Kingdom.
And now looking at it, we're into 5. We're going to do trip 5 and 6. And we've stayed every time at Bay Lake Tower except for one split stay.
We can't get out of Bay Lake Tower. We love it so much.
So it was kind of bought sight unseen, but we loved it.
You hadn't stayed there before because it had just opened.
Yeah, we never stayed we stayed at the Polynesian a couple times when the kids were little.
But we never stayed
at the Contemporary. So, so that's the thing. Have you ever stayed at you stayed at the Swan, but have you ever stayed at any of the other deluxe resorts?
We stayed at, as a kid, we stayed at the Polynesian a couple of times and loved it. But the recollections are fuzzy, and I don't know exactly how I would, relate to it today, versus then.
It's changing now too. It's totally underwritten now.
A lot going at the Polynesian.
Yeah. I've been paying attention. I did have a question. Maybe I'll ask you that question right now about the Polynesian.
Sure.
So the Polynesian obviously is getting DVC, major DVC overhaul right now, and those I think are expected to come out late 2015 or mid 2015.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that the resale market, this may be a little in the weeds, but do you think the resale market for other DVC resorts is going to drop when Polynesian comes on board for new purchases? I'm thinking, I'd hate to, buy something like Bay Lake Tower or Beach Club this year and then find that, next year, late next year or something like that, it's dropped $10, $15 a point in the purchase. So, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so this is probably the toughest question to answer, and I can only speculate, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give you, I wrote down some things to think about here. I think this would be a great question for the DIS board. You'd get a really good debate on this one.
Yeah.
And think of what's going on right now. The prices seem to have been going up, even with Grand Floridian coming on. So to your premise, maybe that's kind of the same kind of thing, and prices certainly haven't gone down. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the Bay Lake Tower has shot up from $97 a point to $150, $160, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's $160 now.
Yeah, if you buy direct from them. And don't forget, Disney has the first right of refusal on the resale market, and they control the market a little bit. So they're not going to let the prices drop too far. If it drops
too much, though, they won't let you.
And I actually have seen some refusals lately on some properties.
Interesting.
But, and I don't, I'm not wondering if you're thinking because they're adding more rooms, the prices are going to drop, but I don't think the Polynesian is adding that many rooms.
They're adding those, the huts on the water, and then they're changing, I think, 2 of the longhouses into DVC. So it's enough rooms, but I don't think it's very many rooms, and I don't think it's going to, I don't think it's going to drop.
No.
Honestly. If anything, it's going to go up.
Like, it's hard to speculate on real estate. It's kind of right. It's like you don't know what the market's going to do, and sometimes you just got to make a decision and do it. But yeah, that's probably the toughest one for me to answer.
Okay. Then moving on to the next one, I was curious about the whole idea of use year, which is the month that you purchase the DVC contract in, and how that kind of ties in to when you can make use of your points. Is there a window, that you have to use them, or, do they expire? And this is kind of tied into, the plan, that I mentioned earlier, where maybe we would go every third year and we would borrow points from the year before and the year after. But, would we have like a day to make use of all of those points, and then it would, something would disappear, or, how much of a factor is use year in determining when you purchase?
It's one of those confusing things, right?
Yeah.
And so in its simplest form, the use year, so like for instance, ours is June. So our points, we get our allotment of points June 1st, and
we have to bank them before that date, which...
No, so if you get your points on June 1st, they're good from that year till May 31st the next year.
Okay.
You do have to, if you're going to bank them, you have to bank them. I think it's like 3 months before the end of that use year. And you can look up the real details of this, but it's 3 or 4 months before. If you're going to bank them, you got to do it in that before the 3 or 4 months. And
you get warnings about it.
Yeah. So, and they have a website, and they have a really detailed website that's really good now for all that stuff. But to your question, like, I think if you're thinking of going in October, you want your use year to be a few months before October, so that your points are there for when. So your points have to be in your account basically before you take your trip. And
when you book your trip, they've got to be.
No, they don't have to be there when you book your trip. That's kind of the little nuance
no,
there.
you're right. It's right when you.
That's maybe what you might be getting confused too with, Glenn. You can
yes.
Right. So you can book your trip knowing that your points are going to be there when you actually take your trip.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but there is another really good article I found on this, doing a little research. And I can give you that link that goes into real detail on the use year. And I think you'd be fine but here's the other thing they say too. Your travel plans may change over the years. Think about it. It might be what you're thinking right now. Mm-hmm. And so when you pick your use year, if you buy from Disney, I think you pretty much pick your use year. Like if you're going to buy the Polynesian when it comes up.
Chose.
Yeah, we were able to pick I think we had pretty much whatever we wanted to pick for a use year.
Yeah, we just chose June because it was in the middle of the year.
That's one advantage if you buy directly from Disney. Otherwise, you'd have to look for a specific contract that met your needs for a use year that you wanted. But yeah, your travel plans may change as your kids get older or whatever. But
right.
So it might be good for the first few years, but it might not work out next time.
or it might be good for the later years. Part of the reason we choose October, we like the Food and Wine Festival.
I'm with you there.
Yes.
Maybe not so good with a 1 and a 3-year-old. So
yeah, but I think like this article I read said even if you have it, I think they said if your use year is like 6 to 7 months before that October, like ours is in June, so my use year would work perfect for your scenario.
Excellent. Yeah, the June one was great.
Yep.
You also have to remember that October is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, so that's great.
Yeah, that's a great time. I'm with you, Glenn. That is a great time to go. That's why we're lucky. Actually, they extended the Food and Wine Festival a week so that we're going to catch it this time when we go.
Yes.
Fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, let me ask you one more question, which is, have you ever rented DVC points? Did you rent maybe before you purchased, or have you rented since you've owned?
We have not rented before, but I know someone at work actually who rents her points to people. And my take on it from just talking to people, now I think the best thing you could do is if you had someone you know. Mm-hmm. And the way it works is they will make the reservation in your name for you, and then you basically would pay them whatever they're, selling you the points for. And that has worked out. That can work out really well for you, as opposed to going direct, paying cash to Disney. I've heard of people doing really well with that. I know what the woman at work sells her points for, and she's insane. I know that she's out of points too, though. So, or else
otherwise we could have
I put her your name so you could. And I know there are some reputable. I've heard some companies that are reputable, Dave's or something like.
Yeah, check the Diz boards. They usually have all those.
That's the only thing I'd be careful with. There are stories out there where you go to a discussion board and you make an arrangement with somebody, and that you might hit somebody who's not reputable. So there's like
you can find references though to websites.
Yeah,
do
that kind of thing. But I have people at work. I had a guy that was willing to rent me his points. At one point, he had a Boardwalk Villas, and I ended up buying. About the same time I was deciding whether to buy or not, I ended up buying in. So I did not rent them.
All right.
Yeah, we were thinking about maybe renting for the first trip and seeing how being a temporary DVC owner goes, and then and then making a more permanent decision after that. But
I think here's my opinion on that, and take it for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. If you stay like at the beach club in just one of the regular rooms, or you stay at the Contemporary, I think you got a pretty good idea what DVC is going to be. The only difference is going to be, you're going to have a better room in terms of like if you did a 1-bedroom with the king size bed and the living room and the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. But as far as the experience, other than those things, you're going to know what it's like.
Yeah, I think we just recently, our last trip, we stayed at the Contemporary for 3 nights, and then we moved right over to the Bay Lake. And I can't tell the difference between the Contemporary room that we had and the Bay Lake, besides that it looks a little different, but the feeling was the same. So if you've ever stayed in one of the deluxe resorts, even in one of the regular rooms.
Actually, I've been reading where the Bay Lake Tower standard room is actually a little bit smaller than you'd think.
Yeah?
Yeah. So we're going to find that out. We're staying in there in September. But of course, the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
the 2-bedroom has it's like luxury. It really is very luxurious.
So big.
It's got 3 bathrooms. I mean, we're going with 8 people. They
That
can
hotel
sleep
room
9.
has more bathrooms than our house does.
I mean, it's a big thing, a big plus for me, Glenn, for DVC was I really wanted, I've got a big family. 5 people was always a challenge going to Disney World for us. And so this takes it, there's no challenge at all, especially Bay Lake Tower, because they have this, so you've got the pull-out bed in the living room. That's actually very comfortable. And it would be great for your kids. There'd be no problem.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a chair thing that pulls out as a bed.
It's like a chair, and it just pulls out. It's like one of those big cushy chairs.
But
and it pulls out into a bed, too.
Last time when Lindsay was sick, she slept in my big king bed, and I slept on that little bed.
You out because...
But it is very comfortable.
No, I stayed in that bed, too, the night before, and it was...
But the king bed is,
Oh, my goodness.
my wife and I have a queen bed in a small bedroom here. I mean, yeah, I feel like a king when I'm at that. I want to live there permanently.
And they have like all the best bedding and stuff, and it's just great.
Yeah, so it does plus things up, in my opinion.
Plus that huge bathroom, especially at the Bay Lake.
But again, like if you take that same example, the contemporary rooms, they just redid all those rooms.
Oh yeah, they're all brand new.
And they are beautiful. So you would, if you could I would just be careful with renting DVC points. I think that's a great idea. Because you can get I mean, I got another good friend at work who's into the running and does all the Run Disney stuff. Mm-hmm. And he actually, you might have heard me tell the story where he found my podcast by accident. He was putting on a podcast. He was looking to figure out what was going on at Boardwalk Villas. And he did a search and saw it, download. He goes, "Hey, I recognize that guy's voice." And so I can ask him for you too, and how he goes about it.
Sure.
Just to get an idea. But he does that all the time, and he likes to try different resorts, and he always rents DVC points.
So it's possible.
Oh yeah, people have had success with it. I just said, a little grain of salt. You gotta be careful.
Absolutely. Well, I think I know the answer to my last question. Have you ever regretted your DVC purchase?
No.
Lindsay goes, she said to me.
Well, I told him, I don't pay for the DVC. I'm not paying for it yet. So I have absolutely no reason to regret anything because all I get to do is enjoy it. So no, I haven't. My dad can give you a better answer than that.
Obviously we don't. But even a deeper answer to this question, I just turned 50 this year. And that's you start to reflect on things, and it is a big purchase. It was up there with my mortgage to some extent, and big decision like getting married. Almost, I don't know why it was so painful. Well, we spent $25,000, right?
Yeah.
You don't just throw $25,000.
Right.
You do it a car, maybe. And don't think much about it. But I think, Disney does this with all their advertising about it, but I really think it's very true. I mean, the time you spend with your family, your vacation time is precious. I knew that we talk about Disney all the time anyway, when our next trip was going to be, and we milk it so much.
Yeah.
And we just made it a priority in our budget, really. We just finally said, this is something that we want to do. We work hard. Life is short. We had a person here recently. We're very positive on the podcast. We talk very positive, but of course we have challenges out there in the world. And, we had a neighbor here who was an accountant. I remember and I didn't talk to him that much. And I'd see him at picnics once a year. And I knew, being an accountant, he was very, we'll call frugal with his money. And he retired, and within a year, he was actually killed in an accident. And, that's a morbid thing, but I'm saying, how short is life? Sometimes you just got to make that decision and just decide what's important. And my wife and I were just talking about today, I'm so glad we did this. This is our 25th wedding anniversary trip that we're having, and we are going to have a ball. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do it up big. So
yeah. So
I think, the answer is yeah. We don't regret it.
Not
Thank
at
you.
all.
Thank you.
There was I think there was one other question too that I remember.
I have one.
You were talking about the beach club and.
Oh yeah, glanced over that one. Just looking at the map, it looks like the Beach Club DVC villas. I don't know if they call them villas there. They seem to be pretty far away, like they're kind of the furthest, dog-eared away from the pool and everything like that. I was curious if that was accurate, if it's if it's a bother, that distance, or if it's just, it's just normal kind of walking distance from there. And also the drink station, I suppose, if you're...
Which is about the same to the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, because the drink station's in the little convenience store thing, like they are in several of those hotel resorts. So... we were thinking about this, and I've not stayed at the villas, but they're very close to some of the rooms that I've stayed, the regular rooms, and they are a pretty good haul. We actually joke about the beach club. You ever see the movie The Shining?
Yeah.
In the hallways?
Oh, no.
Not going to put that spook in your mind. You're never going to want to go.
It's like that at the Boardwalk Villas, too. It's the same way at both of those resorts.
Yeah, I mean, if Disney resorts, I mean, they're so humongous. And depending where your room is, where you're put, could determine the length of walk you have to a pool or to a drink. And
you might be in that last end room.
We were thinking, so the villas at the beach club, I think, are pretty typical or similar to where the room was we used to stay when we were staying at the regular rooms. So it is, it's a matter of opinion. I mean, I know you're going to have a long walk, a pretty good, decent walk. To the pool and the drink station. And even when you're at the Bay Lake Tower, like we've stayed in 2 rooms that were on both ends of the resort.
So literally the farthest you could get.
But and then you got to walk to the either the elevator and then get on the skywalk and then make your way to the Contemporary, because there's no drink station. Well, there is a drink station down in the pool area, but in the morning or whatever, you got to walk. It's about the same. We were talking about it. I think the walk that we have is about the same that you would have at the beach club.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The one thing that there is a quiet pool that's closer to the villas. So there is a little pool there. Just some basic,
it's not that
hot tub.
That grand pool.
But it's not the, right. It's not the legendary pool, but it is there. I don't mind the other thing is for drinks, you know what? With the new refill mugs that have the chip in it and everything. And confession right here, we used to cheat with the mugs all the time.
Who didn't though? Seriously, who didn't? Everyone knew. That's why they put the chips in the cups, because they knew. So
if Disney catches my podcast, they may want to charge me $15 per head.
For how many years?
But so we use the drink stations. We love them, but we're probably going to have water in our room now.
I don't think it was too bad for the drink station, just because I think, and it looks like it's the same at the beach club where it's all covered, your walk all the way to back and forth. So that's a good thing. The pool looks a little bit farther from the beach club, so that's the one thing. I think it is farther than. It
certainly isn't just a walk out your door and you're there.
No.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a jump.
You do have to walk all the way through. It looks like the beach club, the actual
it's
beach
never
club,
bothered me. There are people, I've seen people on the boards, poo-poo the walk that you got to the pool. It's never bothered us, but that's I think it's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, obviously, if you don't like walking, Disney might not be a vacation for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but just the kind of inconvenience, I would say probably more than anything else. So.
Yeah. And but the Bay Lake Tower, it's you basically go for the pool. The nice thing is you get on the elevator. And you're at the pool.
It's right there.
So I would say the pool is easy. And the other nice thing is you can actually use the Contemporary pool, which is a nice pool too.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So you can use, you have the use of both pools. And I've done that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for answering my questions today.
I think we covered all that you had. Was there any others?
You you actually just brought up a kind of an interesting one about using some of the other facilities at the Contemporary and the Bay Lake Tower as well. Have you used, and do you use a lot, the I can't remember what it's called, Top of the World or something like that at the top of the Bay Lake Tower. Do you go up there a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot.
We haven't used it a lot, but it is amazing.
It is fantastic.
I know we'll be using it in September.
Yeah.
Because I'm turning 21, so we'll be using it in September. But
it is a great little perk.
the fireworks from the Top of the World are amazing at the Bay Lake Tower.
And you have to be a DVC owner on points to use it.
Yeah. I think that's
They
one
actually,
of the best places to watch Wish.
They card you.
Yeah, they do. I think when we did it, like when we actually did it last time, we actually had to show our card, but I think you can scan it now, and just the elevator only will
There's a
open
certain elevator that goes up to that Top of the World lounge.
Very cool.
Yeah, we are. The thing is, it's funny. We're really exhausted when we go. We go commando in the parks still.
Yeah.
And there are some, you can watch the fireworks from your balcony
In certain rooms.
or you can watch them from the Sky Bridge there,
Yep. Which a lot of people do.
And but it certainly isn't inconvenient to go up the elevator to go to the lounge.
No, it's so nice. It's you have to do it sometime if you do get your DVC.
Yeah,
you have to do that.
Yep, it's a good little perk. I mean, just again hanging around that resort loop. It's a fun place to be.
Yes.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So we gotta give them some of our questions.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, do we have enough time? Because I think
we got a few minutes.
they're not too tough.
Yeah, so we got a new little segment. We're trying. Anyone who comes on, we're thinking of some Disney questions we can ask you, and this is kind of a lightning round. Is that what we're?
Is it a lightning round? I don't know. It's just
all right.
There's like 5 or 6.
So it's our turn to ask you questions.
Yes.
Okay, if only fair.
All right. First of all, what's your favorite Walt Disney World park out of the big 4?
Tough.
Yeah, we know.
It's real close between 2, I think. And when I was a kid and I really, was kind of the geek, and that's why I'm on Geekin with Walt Disney World. It was Epcot, and I loved the the science and the kind of world of tomorrow and all that business. But I think now with the kids, and I'm just kind of imagining, I think Magic Kingdom. So I don't know if that's really an answer to say
great.
both. So young Glenn, kid Glenn says Epcot, adult Glenn with my kids says Magic Kingdom.
Ah, interesting.
I think that's a lot between both of us too.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to be bringing your little kids for the first time. Do you have a daughter?
No, 2 boys.
2 boys. Okay. Because one thing
but they can
we
still
regret. We regret never. Lindsay was big into the princess thing, and boy, if I had a daughter, I'd do the princess thing big.
Bippity Boppity Boutique.
Yeah, Exactly.
But you can join the Pirates League. With
the boys.
Pirates, right? That's their beef.
Or they could be a princess, whichever.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would do that up big when they're little.
Yeah, and I think the adults can do Pirate League as well. So you can actually do that along with your sons when they're old enough. They'll dress up the adults too.
Disney has been so great in doing things like that. No.
Get an eye patch. That sounds awesome.
One thing, my youngest son Benjamin, he wanted was it a Peter Pan suit?
It was a Peter Pan. We still have the hat.
So we dressed him up like Peter Pan when he was 6 or 7 years old.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what's your next one?
All right, next one. This one's a little bit easier because we're splitting it down to 4 categories, but your favorite Walt Disney World attraction, and we'll start with the Magic Kingdom. An attraction, when I think of an attraction, my dad took this a little bit off.
I got it wrong?
He interpreted it differently than I did, but what I mean is attraction is something that you'll sit in a car or a cart or something and go through it, not a sit-down show. So not like laugh floor, like that sort of thing, but an actual attraction.
Boy, tough. Probably in Magic Kingdom. I mean, I really like all the roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So, I think probably Splash Mountain.
Good answer.
That was yours, right?
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, Splash. I grew up with, kind of Song of the South. We saw some videos and read the stories about that. So, there's a kind of charm to Bra Rabbit and Bra Fox and everything like that. And then it's a great ride. I mean, it tells a story. It's got some fun drops, and you get.
It's got a great soundtrack. That ride.
Yeah,
we're singing it all year round.
The big question for me: does the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train eclipse my favorite ride.
Will it?
Does
it have the
Could it
potential?
take number one? We will find out in a couple weeks.
People are talking about it. I don't know.
Mom's trying to. My wife is the one who watches every video, reads every blog post.
She doesn't get spoilers.
She doesn't care about being surprised. Yeah. And me and Lindsay are the total opposite. Don't tell us anything.
We don't want to see anything.
We don't want to know nothing
until we're there.
So we want to experience it firsthand.
All right,
well, I won't tell you what I heard today on a different podcast.
Oh, yeah. Don't spoil it for us, Glenn.
Nothing, just the height requirement is only 38 inches.
Okay.
Take that for what it is.
We're worried about the body size. I'm 240 pounds.
Can we fit into the seats on the carts? Because we've heard horror stories.
Yep. A little bit concerned there, but...
We might be sitting single rider on that one. But, okay. On to Epcot. How about Epcot? What's your favorite attraction?
Oh, my God. I'm going to give you... No one's going to give you this answer, probably.
Okay.
All right.
However many you do. And this speaks again to the geekdom. My favorite ride at Epcot is The Land.
Oh.
You know that one when you go through it?
I love The Land.
Like gigantic lemons and things growing without dirt. Oh, I love it. And then they make. I understand they make most of the food at the Land Pavilion out of of the Land ride. The stuff they grow there.
What is it?
That's marvelous.
Well, the Garden
Grill gets all their vegetables from that ride.
Yep.
So,
and I think even the other restaurants there in that area.
Yeah,
I love that ride. Did you ever think of doing the Seeds tour? There's actually a very a tour. They have a lot of backstage tours, and one of them is called the Seeds tour, and they go into real depth on what they do and how they grow and all that kind of stuff in the back there.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And that's one of the, if you look it up, it's called the Seeds Tour. We've never done it. I've done the actually backstage tour of Epcot.
I think every park except for Hollywood Studios has one.
Right. And so it's an extra charge, but the Seeds Tour I've heard is one of the cheapest ones they do.
It is.
So is that like $20 or something, or $30?
It's a lot cheaper than the other ones.
Yeah, it's the cheapest one. You might really enjoy that.
It's just
so look at that up next time you go.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. I've seen the video. I'm sure you guys have seen it too, of Walt Disney himself talking about the what Epcot was always kind of meant to be, that experimental prototype city of tomorrow, and that Land ride and a couple others seem to really get kind of close to that idea, and I like that. So.
Yeah, I think One Man's Dream over at Hollywood Studios shows him. Yep, going through that.
Yeah,
excellent.
That was a great answer. I really like that.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, Hollywood Studios.
Go faster here for you because I know we're probably running late. Rock and Roller Coaster, but
nice.
When we went in 2009, Toy Story Mania had just opened, and we never actually got to ride it. We couldn't get fast passes, or the line was
that happened to me too.
4 hours long or something like that. So we've never actually ridden on that. So
it's
that
still
might
pretty
be
bad too. You need to get a fast pass for that one.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
It's easier now though. Now that we've got the My Disney Experience with the. You can reserve your fast pass before time, because I remember running to Toy Story Mania just to get a fast pass and then waiting in a 10-minute line just to get the fast passes the moment the park opened.
Crazy.
So yeah, you'll definitely get your chance to go on it next time you're down down there.
Sounds good. All right,
and then Animal Kingdom.
Everest.
Yep. Oh.
He likes the roller coasters.
He likes
Very
the thrills.
Nice.
Yeah, love Everest, and the view at the top, and we did that extra magic hours one time, when we were there, 5 years ago, and went on it like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times in a row in the 8 o'clock hour, and got to sit in the front and sit in the back and sit in the middle and all the different experiences, and in the front, I mean, it's just so beautiful when you get to the top there.
I love taking a picture from up there.
Take a picture, look around. Yeah, that's just...
You get the best view, especially those broken tracks.
So going backwards makes me sick.
And you get to see the Disco Yeti on that one with the flashing lights.
All right, I got one more question for you. This is one I think we're actually going to do a full show on this next time, so I'll give you a chance to preview it for our guests.
Yes, you're the first one.
What's your favorite smell at Disney World?
Favorite smell? That's actually really easy. It's the first smell that I smell when you walk down Main Street and the sweet confectionery starts.
Oh, yeah.
That just tells me that I'm there, that I'm at Disney.
Nice.
I'm with you there.
Those smells that they pump in, and then the ones that are actually floating out into the street.
Right.
Well, our dogs are going crazy. And with that, we are almost into an hour here, Glenn. I hope you had a great time.
I sure did.
We learned something. Yeah, we had a great time. And thanks so much for coming, Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. So we will sign off. And Glenn, if you have any other questions, just shoot me an email or whatever. We will try to get you. Well, you make your own decision, but we'll give you as much info as you can.
That goes for everyone too. Any questions about DVC that we can help you with?
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. So that's it for today, and we will see you guys later. Bye. It's episode 12 and time to delve on DVC on the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast.
Yeah. Close enough.